looking up, even when I'm down. Got my head in the clouds and my feet on the ground. I got big dreams, gonna make them.
Hey, Toby here from the GeniusLab, where we help you realize your greatness. This is number 10 of my podcasts from my new book, Release Your Shit and Reclaim Your Power. Today, we're going to talk about visualization. Now, this is something that I have poo-pooed for years. I'm less like, all right, yeah. You know, you just think something and it happens, or you just visualize it and it just materializes. Okay. Yes, actually. When I was a ski instructor many years ago, we used to work on a thing called cognitive involvement. And that's what they called it back then. And it's really wild because basically what it is when you're looking to execute a particular exercise, and let's just say for me, rather than teaching skiing, I was more interested in being out on the slopes, and I wanted to do flips and stuff. So what we did was, when we started, was we visualized ourselves going through the process of doing a flip, hitting the jump. If we were going to do a forward flip, the angle of the jump, how our bodies would move forward, how we would tuck our chin in. Every micro movement of our body was delved into. And what was really crazy is it actually worked. I mean, it helped a lot. I'm not going to say that, you know, if I just thought about doing a backflip and then went and jumped off a cliff, I could do a backflip, you know. But what I'm saying is that it became much easier to execute when I knew it perfectly in my mind. And then I got into understanding about psychocybernetics, which is another aspect of visualization. And it's really powerful. And so in my book and in the workshops that accompany the book, we are doing this thing. I call it A Day Represents Your Life. And what's really interesting, it's like wake up in the morning in your perfect place in your mind. Imagine what it's like to wake up. For example, let's just say that one of your goals is to have a big house. And so wake up in your big bed, in your big bedroom, in your big house. And imagine yourself walking out of the bedroom down this beautiful hall. What kind of carpet do you have? Do you have like a beautiful oriental runner with beautiful hardwood floors underneath it? Walking out into this giant kitchen with amazing countertops and state-of-the-art appliances. You get your coffee, or maybe your dream is so big that you imagine yourself being awakened by your valet, who has your coffee already made for you and sets it on your nightstand. And coffee, sir. You know, it just depends on what your dream is. But what you do is you get up and you run through your day. And then imagine yourself, you know, what do you do when you get up? Do you go for a run? Do you go hit the gym or your exercise room in your house? Do you head out to the pool and do some laps? Maybe you live on the ocean and you go swim in the open water. Think through your day as you would have it be in your perfect world, and feel what it's like. You know, maybe you have a job, or you interact with people to cut deals and make money, or maybe you are already retired, or maybe you inherited a ton of money or won the lottery and you just have all the financial resources you need, so you don't have to worry about any of that. You know, whatever it is for you. And the thing that happens is that your energy field begins to adjust to this visualization, because your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between ordinary and non-ordinary reality. So it's really important to have a lot of imagery and a lot of sensory connection. In other words, when you get up in the morning and you're going to go have coffee, imagine yourself, if you're making your coffee, smell that really beautiful aroma of the coffee beans as they grind, and then the coffee as it brews. And, if you live by the water, open up the windows and smell the fresh ocean or what, see what I'm saying? Ignite your visualization, okay? You see yourself in this place, you see your surrounding area, but you also adapt sensory perception to it as well. What do you smell? What do you feel? What are the textures of the floors? What's the texture of the carpeting? What's the texture of the tile floors in the kitchen or whatever it is, okay? And then run through your day. Do you have a workout area in the house, or do you go to a gym? Do you go to a golf club? Do you, think it through. And then imagine yourself in it. When you're there, is there somebody with you? Do you have a personal trainer that comes over every day? Or do you work out yourself? Do you see where I'm going with this? This is really, really fucking powerful. If you spend 20 minutes a day doing this visualization, I guarantee you your life will change radically. Things will happen that will blow your freaking mind. Okay? And run through your entire day from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed. One of the things that's happened for me since I've been doing this is I have a tendency to peter out around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And in my visualization, I'm a highly productive person and I get a lot done. And music is a big part of my deal. And so I do blog posts and I do podcasts and I take time to do music and write new songs. And so I used to get really, tired in the afternoon and something usually got kicked out. Okay. A lot of times it was the most important thing. Because I always found time to do the music. I just didn't spend the time that I should have on establishing my business contacts and the things that are important for generating revenue that help provide the resources for new microphones and guitars and stuff. So anyway, so the thing that's really important is basically what's happened for me. Sorry, I'm getting all discombobulated. Is that now at 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm like, time to kick into the next gear. I've gotten all my stuff done. I've gotten blog posts done. I've gotten my postings done. I've got my podcast done. I've got my connections made, workshop planning, blah, blah, blah. And then 4 o'clock comes along and now it's time for music and I'm re-inspired. And it's been because I visualized myself going through this process and all of a sudden my energy aligns with the vision. So it's really, really powerful. So run through your entire day. Now, if you're, you're not. In my book, I say if you're on Kauai at one of the workshops, but obviously you're listening to my podcast, so you're not. But you could be. So check my schedule, and I'd love to see you here. So run yourself through the entire day from the time you get up and think about when you get up, how do you feel when you get up? Fully rested, or do you feel groggy and hungover, right? So who's with you? I'll just leave that one for a minute. And then run through your exercise program. What do you do? What does your body look like at this point in time? How are you improving? What are your fitness goals? So you can run through, as you run through your day, how are you meeting your goals? What are the things that you're doing that are helping you be in a power positive mode, moving towards your desired outcomes and creating the thing that you want? Maybe... And this is a great story. I was at an event and it was for a network marketing company that I was working with and helping these people achieve their goals. And this, it was all about Maseratis and top shelf liquor and wild vacations, right? And this woman came up to me afterwards and she said, well, Toby, what if I don't want any of that stuff? Because I don't want an expensive car. And in my worldview, if I have those really nice, expensive things, I stand out like a target, and I want to be invisible. And I don't want to have a big giant house. I want to have a little tiny house, and I want to have a garden and that I can work with with my daughter. And, is that okay to think like that? And I'm like, oh, hell yes. You'll get to your goal much sooner than a lot of these people because they want, $1 million cars. Whatever it is that you want, visualize it. Maybe you want to wake up in a cabin out in the woods somewhere, completely invisible. You have a nice garden. You can go out and get your vegetables. Maybe you don't have any coffee at all, which is a horrible thing to think about. But gotta have my coffee. I love it. Here it is. Anyway, so it can be anything. It doesn't have to be some grandiose thing of waking up in a 50,000 square foot house next door to Bill Gates on Lake Washington or wherever. It can be whatever it is that you want. The important thing is activate your visual perception and your other senses. What do you smell? What do you feel? What do you taste? Who's there with you? Just really get as detailed as you can, because the more detail that you put into the vision, the more powerful it is. The more powerful it is, the quicker you're going to change from where you are to where you want to be. Okay? So this is a really important exercise to do every day. Make sure you're super consistent. I recommend doing it when you first wake up. That's when I do mine. Because if I don't, once I hit the ground running, I'm screwed. And the other thing that I do is I have a soundtrack, which is just drumming. For me, I love drumming, and so I created this djembe. It's called the Djembe Heart Meditation. You can get it at healingdrummer.com in the shop. And Djembe Heart Meditation is 22 minutes, and it's perfect because it's inspiring and uplifting. It gets your energy cooking first thing in the morning, and it gives you a 22-minute time to meditate and visualize. And to me, the drumming helps inspire the visualization. I feel energized and I feel invigorated. It helps to activate my senses because I'm using hearing, and I can feel things in the drumming. It activates my nervous system. So first thing in the morning, walk yourself through your entire day the way you want it to go, the way that you envision the perfect day. And then open yourself to that actually happening. Okay? I've had some people that go, well, I go through the motions, but I don't really believe this could actually happen. Well, that's not going to completely stop things from happening, but it's certainly going to slow down the process. So the other thing is, if you need to lower the bar a little bit, I remember when I think that I needed a private jet, a personal valet, and 15 exotic cars to be okay. And like 10 houses. And I really, that was my deal, man. I wanted to have Ferraris and Lamborghinis and a Bugatti, and I wanted to, have a place in Greece, and I wanted a villa in Greece and in Tuscany, and a place in San Diego, and a place on Kauai, and holy shit. And I finally hit a place where I realized, dude, that is not going to happen. However, what happened through the visualization was I created many of those things in a different way, because I was invited to speak at an event on Kauai. I met some people that had a house there. I started renting the house out for months at a time. And guess what? I got my tropical paradise, and I didn't have to pay for it. I rented it, right? No maintenance, no taxes, no nothing. Just go there, enjoy it, and then leave. It was awesome. I have friends that have private planes. I have friends that have other things, And so it may not materialize the way that you think it will. Or while you're in the process, you'll just like, man, this is too much fucking work. That's what I did. I'm just like, all my friends that are really super rich are like working constantly. It's like, hey man, you want to get together and hang out? Yeah, a month and a half from now, we can do that. And I don't want that kind of rigid life. I want to have a life that's free. I want to have a life that's open and expansive and not tied to any particular time frame. I want to have a lot of free time and I want to have a lot of options. Try the visualization. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. Play with it. Get the soundtrack if you think that might help you. I think it might. HealingDrummer.com in the shop. And you have a fantastic day. Keep looking up.